Good evening, and welcome to the November edition of Video Output.
I'm Tracy Cozio.
And I'm Eli Estefan. Video Output is a production of the radio and television class of the Parma City Schools.
Tonight, we feature a special presentation as we meet the new superintendent, Carl Hilling. We also focus on two features that are exclusive to fall, the high school cheerleader and the school open house.
First, let's meet the new superintendent. This past August saw the arrival of Carl Hilling at the helm of the Parma City Schools. Mr. Hilling replaced former superintendent Walter Olszewski. Video Output's Paul Jordan talks to Mr. Hilling to find out more.
Hi, I'm Paul Jordan here with a special Video Output. We're interviewing the new superintendent of the Parma City Schools, Carl Hilling. Mr. Hilling, can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Yes, Paul. From the Akron area, which is just about 25 miles away from Cleveland. Grew up in the city of Akron. Attended the Akron public schools. After that, I went to college and thought I knew it all. So after about 2 years, I quit school. After 2 years of a little bit of manual labor, I decided to go back to school. And then I started teaching mid-year of '64 in Akron. Taught several years and coached in Akron. Taught 5 years in a local small district, Woodridge local. And then I got into administration at Hudson local schools for about 13 years. And after that, I was over at the Euclid City Schools for 3 years and came here to Parma.
And can you tell me your philosophy as superintendent concerning education?
Yes, I believe I expect the best out of not only the teachers but of the students and the community. There's an old Chinese saying that if you feed a hungry man a fish, he eats for a day. But if you teach him how to fish, he'll eat for the rest of his life. So I believe that what you have to do is have active learning in the classroom. So involve the students, involve the community, involve the parents.
And what changes do you foresee in the Parma schools?
Only better. I think what I've seen so far, good students, good teachers, good community. But in this changing world that we have, there's always room for improvement.
And what are some of the strengths and weaknesses, as you see them, of the district?
In the short period of time I'm here, I said the strengths I would believe are the people and the staff, the facilities, the curriculum. And I think the weaknesses that probably is we need a little bit more continuity and possibly a more positive attitude.
And how have the demands on the student changed since you went to school?
Well, back in my day, back in the dark ages when I went to school, that was in the 50s. In the 50s, as you've seen, happy days. It wasn't quite that happy. But I think that the world has changed from the standpoint it's a faster pace. When I was growing up, there was a neighborhood school concept. The suburbs were more or less like farms. Now you have people exiting the cities and getting into the suburbs. You have a lot more pressure to get ahead. You have to have more technical skills, and you have to have more education. I can remember when I was a kid that when kids, you didn't even really have to graduate from high school. They could go into labor jobs, work in a factory, steel mills, rubber companies. And now it's becoming more of a computerized society, so you need at least two more years beyond high school of education so you can be trainable.
And how have the teaching methods changed since you were in school?
Teaching methods, it seemed it was sort of archaic to stand up in front of a class and lecture. I think now there are more, they have television. They have a lot more video. It used to just have the 16-millimeter film, and there weren't as many films available. So I think it's become more advanced, and we didn't have television like you're doing right now. We had television, but we didn't have television programs. I'm not that quite that old. But it's a changing society, very rapid change. For instance, if you went into a grocery store, you might buy 2 or 3 different varieties of bread. Now if you go into a grocery store or convenient market, you can see almost an aisle of different kinds of bread.
And in your 3 months of being superintendent, what do you think of the district?
I think it's great. It's a lot of potential. It's a good traditional district, good strong families. I think it's good strong ethnical backgrounds. believe in hard work, believe in discipline, and believe in pride. I think when you look at the community takes care of itself. You look at the homes, and you see fresh cut lawns, trimmed shrubs, a lot of flowers. And I think what we have to do now is let the school buildings reflect that community pride.
Okay. Thank you for joining us on Video Output.
Thank you, Paul.
Thanks, Paul. Cheerleading is an integral part of fall activity as football ends and basketball begins. What would football or basketball games be without the traditional cheerleaders? Many girls from Parma, Normandy, and Valley Forge are involved in cheerleading, a fun but time-consuming activity. What's involved and how does it change? This past fall, an LEL cheerleading conference was held at Valley Forge. This conference gave our Video Output crew an opportunity to interview several cheerleaders and their advisors.
Ready? Okay. First and 10, go, fight, win. First and 10, go, fight, win.
Hi, I'm Suzanne George from Valley Forge High School.
And hi, I'm Madrona Kook from Normandy High School.
Earlier this fall season, Valley Forge High School hosted the LEL Cheerleading Clinic. The LEL brings all the Lake Erie League schools together. The cheerleaders get to know one another and also learn new cheers. The clinic also shows each school what their competition is all about. Here's Stephanie Mahalik interviewing Mrs. Shire, the Normandy cheerleading coach.
Exactly what is the LEL Cheerleading Conference?
Well, they have one every year with all the 7 schools in the LEL that get together. And basically what we do is a way to get to know the cheerleaders other than just at the games. And we share different techniques. They teach us some chants, they teach us some cheers, and we do some of our cheers. So we sort of, use things from each other. It's a way to expand what we do. Well, I think really it's a get-together and to share ideas. And I think it's a good way to be in a non-competition type of atmosphere. Because, when you're at a game, like, the opponent, you want to beat them. And this time it's like making friends and learning from each other.
How many times a year does this happen?
We meet once a year, every year. And this is the second time it's been at Valley Forge in the last 8 years.
Do you learn from observing other squads?
Oh, yeah. And it's a real good idea because you can pick up techniques because most squads go to camps all over the state of Ohio and outside of Ohio. So we can, they can show us some things, we can show them some things, and it just makes us better. And that's really what we'd like to do, is always to be the best.
Has there been any changes in cheerleading routines over the years?
There's been a lot of changes, especially in the last 10 years. They've moved from things that were sort of sing-songy to very short, very snappy kinds of moves, very straight arm movements, almost very stiff. Big eyes, deeper voice. We used to build mounts and pyramids 10 years ago. We don't do that anymore in our league because it's a rather dangerous thing to do. The colleges around here still do it, but we don't do it. And I think it's been more to get the crowd to cheer along. That's how it used to be, but then, we went to like anti-cheering, and so they just sort of performed. But now I think they're back to getting the crowd to cheer along with them. So there's been lots of changes.
Hi, this is Pete Riffle for Video Output, and I'm interviewing Mrs. Yanda on Valley Forge Cheerleading. Mrs. Yanda, could you tell us your role here as the Valley Forge Cheerleader Advisor?
I'm responsible for seeing that the girls exhibit good sportsmanship, that they enjoy what they're doing, and that they develop as young ladies.
And how would you pick your cheerleaders at Valley Forge?
Our gals are picked by a committee of judges. Independent judges, faculty, administration, parents, and former cheerleaders. They're evaluated on their skills, on their enthusiasm, and on their poise.
Now getting to the cheerleader conference, how many girls attended this function today?
I think there was about 140 here. And I don't have the exact figures, I haven't totaled them, but I believe it was around about 140.
What benefits are there for the girls who attend this?
they get to know one another. These gals are from rival schools. They see each other for a couple minutes during the exchange cheer, and they really don't get to become friends. The clinic is developed for the girls to enable them to know one another, to build friendships, to build sportsmanship, and to further the sport of cheerleading.
And to be a cheerleader, what qualifications would you look for in one?
Well, I'd look for girls that were athletically inclined. They'd have to be able to do certain stunts, cartwheels, jumps, splits, this type of thing. They would have to have enthusiasm, hopefully a loud voice, and naturally grades would be a major thing also, because cheerleading does take a lot of time, and they need to be able to maintain their grades, because after all, that's really what they're in school for.
Hi, I'm here with Candy Jones, a Valley Forge varsity football cheerleader. Candy, what do you like best about LEL?
Getting to know all the girls and exchanging different cheers, and it's just fun to be with everyone, and from different schools and getting along.
What do the cheerleaders do to prepare for this?
2 weeks over the summer, we all have practices, all 4 squads, and we prepare cheers and we make them up ourselves, and then we exchange them and we try to learn each other's, and then we show everyone during the clinic.
I'm here with Tina Lear, and she is on the Valley Forge varsity basketball squad. Tina, what do you like best about the LEL clinic?
I like to get together with the girls and meet everyone in the LEL and just be as spirited as we can and be as loud as we can and just have fun.
Good. How does it differ from the other schools, like each school that has it? How does it differ?
It really doesn't. All the girls we all have as much fun as we can, and we're all as spirited as we can.
Dentzler, I'm from Normandy.
Okay, and what squad are you on?
Varsity football.
Being a visiting school, what do you like best about the LEL clinic?
I like meeting new people and learning new chants and cheers that we can use at our home games.
Hi, what's your name?
Megan Arthur.
What school and squad are you from?
Parma varsity football.
Okay, what do you like best about the LEL clinic?
Well, I like coming with my squad to the clinic so that other squads can see how good we are and how we can see how everyone else is, and to learn cheers and see just, how good all the other squads are, so we can compare ourselves to them.
Okay.
Michelle Zawicki.
What squad and school are you from?
I'm from Parma Senior High, and I'm a varsity basketball cheerleader.
Okay. I understand that Parma High School was the host last year of the LEL clinic. Could you tell me whether you liked being a guest or whether you liked being a host?
Well, actually, I like to be a host better because we got to prepare our own, chant and cheer and everything, and we were able to show our spirit better than when you're a guest. You don't stand out as much, and you don't get to show your spirit. But it's nice to be a guest too, because you get to relax then, and you're not running around being all worried about is everybody okay, is everybody learning. But it's nice because you get to meet a lot more people if you're a host, because you have to ask everybody their name and everything. Or if you're a guest, you usually just stick with the squad you're with.
Okay. I'm here with Wendy Hyduk, the Valley Forge basketball cheerleading squad's captain. Wendy, could you tell me what kind of a cheer that the basketball team coaches, these other cheerleaders from the schools?
Well, this year we put together a dance routine, because during the basketball's halftime court, we sometimes entertain with the dance routine. And since the other squads are introducing cheers, we decided to put together a dance routine. We took parts of it from last year's routine and we added some of our new ones. And we started teaching a group already, and they're learning it really well, and it looks really good.
Here with Joanne Bozich. Joanne, could you tell me what goes on during LEL?
Well, first of all, we have everyone teaches each other a cheer, and the Valley Forge cheerleaders teach all the other schools the cheers, and they teach us their hello cheer, and then we just go on through stages, and they teach each other the cheers. That's about it.
Do you show them at the very end? Does all the schools show Valley Forge what they've learned?
Yes, they do. At the end, each school comes out and does what they have learned at the LEL practices.
and then you all just go home, and then that's the end of it, huh?
Afterwards, Valley Forge sponsors a refreshments and cookies in a student center, and it's sponsored by Valley Forge. Just a farewell.
Finally tonight, the school open house is an important part of fall activities. We wondered what really goes on, how they differ from school to school, and what they're actually designed to do. Video Output's John Pinner talked to Mr. Diver of Normandy High School, and our crews also ventured to Dentzler Elementary School to find out more about the community event, the school open house.
This is John Pinner talking to Mr. Diver about open house. Mr. Diver, in your opinion, what is the purpose of open house?
Well, John, open house gives the schools an opportunity to have the parents come in and spend a short period of time following their students' schedule and getting an idea about their students' day. Even though it's a shortened schedule, they get an idea of their classes. They get an opportunity to meet their teachers, to see how large their classes are, to see what materials they're dealing with. And it's just a method of bringing parents into the building and exposing them to their youngsters' day.
What do you hope to relay to the parents when they come to open house?
Well, as I indicate, it's an opportunity to follow the schedule. Until they come in and follow that, all they have seen is a schedule on a piece of paper, so they don't really know what that means. So they get an idea of what their youngster follows each day. They get to meet the teachers, and they get a small taste of some of the curriculum materials that are being used in the classroom, and some of the material being presented to the kids each day. So it's just an exposure. It's an exposure to the student schedule and to the student's educational plan for that particular year.
Is there usually a very large turnout for open house, and do the students attend with their parents?
The attendance is usually very good. It's usually quite large. It's usually a very positive experience, a happy occasion, kind of a community event, and 99% of the students do not attend. Every once in a while, there will be a student attend with their parents. Sometimes you will get younger brothers and sisters attending. Sometimes you'll get grandma and grandpa attending with mom and dad. But it's usually the parents. Very rarely a kid comes. But it's usually very well attended.
Is it done this way at every school?
To my knowledge, it's done this way at every secondary school. I've had the good fortune during the time that I've been in Parma of being in 5 different secondary buildings, and it's been done this way in all the buildings that I served. The elementary, I think, is a little more like an open house in that people come in and sort of wander around and go to their classroom and go to because they don't have a schedule to follow as they do in the secondary. They have the one room. So it's a little different, but the secondaries operate this way.
Do the parents have a chance to meet with the child's administrators?
We'd like to have the opportunity to meet all the parents that we know and those that we don't know. We try to make ourselves available in the halls and in the cafeteria because everyone seems to find their way to the cafeteria during either a study hall or during their youngsters' lunch hour. So we try to be down there and meet people and be available if they have questions and want to talk with us. So we make an effort to make contact with as many parents as we possibly can during that 2.5-hour period of time at open house.
Riffle here for Video Output, and I'm interviewing Mr. Tavorik at Open House.
Hi, Pete. It's nice to be here. This is my 7th open house here at Normandy High School, and it's really a neat, exciting thing. As you can hear all the background noise, we got all kinds of things going on. You know, there's more to it than just the parents coming into the classrooms. There'll be entertainment. We'll have the various student groups around.
Hello, I'm Eli Estefan, talking to the principal of the Dentzler Elementary School, Mr. Richard Dalvicio. Mr. Dalvicio, could you tell us a little bit about why we have open house?
Well, the open house is a tradition in the Parma school system, and what we do, we invite our parents here to the school. The children come and introduce their parents to the teachers and the teachers to the parents, and they chat a little bit about what's going on in the school, and they get to go through the curriculum. And it's a multi-fold approach because, one, the children are proud of their school, they're proud of their teachers, and vice versa. And so it's a great PR thing, and I think one of the big things is the parents are most happy to meet their child's teacher and also to get to see the quality curriculum and the quality education that's being provided to their children.
What are some of the things the students and teachers do to prepare for open house?
Well, actually, we try to set out our best wares because we have you here and we have a captured audience, so we want to see the very best. So we try to provide, we make sure the artwork is displayed nicely. We make sure that the children's desks are nice and neat. We make sure that there's materials there that the parents can look at and see how the child is doing at this time without cornering the teacher or taking too much of the teacher's time. Open houses are not here to have a conference with the teacher about the child. Open house is to visit and see the atmosphere in which the child is being educated.
Could you tell us if Dentzler's open house is different from any other schools in the system?
There are several types of open houses. We have the family-oriented type where the children do come with the parents.
I'm here with Mrs. Hollenbaugh, the PTA president of Dentzler Elementary School. Mrs. Hollenbaugh, as a PTA president, what is your role for open houses as a president?
Well, as a PTA president, it's my job to make sure that the bake sale runs smoothly. I have to coordinate my vice president, my refreshment people. We have to get here early to price everything, and then during the sale, we act as hostesses, make change, that kind of stuff.
All right, you are a parent yourself, and how do you feel as a parent towards open house? Do you feel it's a good program for the students and for the parents and the teachers?
Yes, I do. I think it's very good for the students, the parents, and the community to come in and see our school and what we offer our children. As a parent, I like to meet with my son's teachers and see how they're doing in school.
What is your name?
Jason Smallwood.
How do you like open house?
Cool.
What are some of the things you do to prepare for tonight?
Put our papers in a folder, got our spirals on our desk.
Joe.
How do you like open house?
It's okay.
What are some of the things you do to prepare for open house?
We made pumpkins and we made these invitations for our mothers and fathers and stuff.
I introduced them to my teacher and I showed them on my paper, and I show them around and I show them my desk and everything.
And what is your name?
Paul Pearson.
What do you like about open house?
I think it's nice because you can see your work and meet the teachers.
What are some of the things you do to prepare for tonight?
Wrote poems and who we admired and wrote like different things.
Well, it's not that bad because your parents get to see your work and there's a bake sale. It's really fun.
What are some of the things you did to prepare for tonight?
We did a lot of art projects and we cleaned our desks and stuff like that. Normal stuff.
Well, that's about it for tonight's video output. We'd like to take a moment to thank all the administrators, faculty, and students that helped make this show possible. I'm Tracy Cozio.
And I'm Eli Estefan. And we'll see you next time on Video Output.